I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this. It started as just another day in my life, like any other. But what should have been a simple trip to the local liquor store turned into the kind of situation that would change everything I thought I knew about people and about myself. It was a Tuesday in July, the kind of oppressive heat that only summer in the South can bring. The kind of day where the air feels like it's holding its breath, just waiting for something to crack. I had just finished testifying in court, big case, serious charges, a real weight on my shoulders. So, I figured I'd swing by Murphy's Liquor Emporium on Harrow Street and pick up a bottle of wine for Carmen and me. It was our anniversary, after all. A bottle of Bordeaux, maybe something fancy. Just the right touch for a quiet evening with my wife. That's all I wanted. I wasn't wearing my badge, didn't have the suit on, just my navy blue shirt and slacks. No need to look like the chief of police today. I was just a guy in a store, trying to pick out a nice bottle. That's when it all started. I hadn't noticed them at first. They were just another group of teens milling around, picking out snacks and drinks, probably looking for trouble, like most of their age group. But then one of them, the kid who stood out the most, spoke up. And trust me, I should have known from the way he spoke that this was going to be no ordinary encounter. Hey, you. His voice was sharp, dripping with entitlement. Yeah, you, the black guy in the suit. Now, I've been called worse in my career. I've heard it all. But there was something about the way this kid said it. Something casual, like he wasn't even aware of how completely disrespectful it was. I turned, my stomach already in knots. The kid was maybe 19, wearing a brand new white polo shirt and jeans that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage. And he wasn't alone. Two girls were with him, one blonde, one brunette, both looking like they walked straight out of a catalog for spoiled rich kids. They had that same smug look, the one that tells you they've never worked a day in their lives. He pointed directly at me, his eyes scanning me up and down like I was some kind of servant. You go buy us some beer. My friends and I need a case, and we'll pay you back, don't worry. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The audacity of this kid. I mean, I'm a cop. For crying out loud, what did he think this was? Some kind of joke? The girls behind him giggled like it was all some kind of prank. And then, he dropped a line that made my blood boil. We'll pay you, he said, like $20. You're not doing too well for yourself, right? This'll be easy money for you. He didn't know who I was, didn't know the man he was speaking to. So I kept my cool, took a deep breath. Excuse me, I asked, my voice calm but firm. Who do you think you're talking to? He rolled his eyes like I was the one causing the trouble. Look, man, just grab us a case of Corona. We're HVYing a pool party tonight. You're not going to turn down a few bucks, are you? The words hit me harder than I expected. The help, he'd said, the kind of racism that's so ingrained, so casual, it almost stings worse than anything else. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. Instead, I crossed my arms, letting my jacket fall open just enough to reveal my badge. I could feel the tension in the air shift. The kid's smile faltered just slightly, but he didn't back down. Are you really going to treat me like this? I asked. That's when the girls chimed in. Please, we'll tip you well, said the brunette, batting her lashes like it was the most natural thing in the world. Like $20. I could feel my patience slipping. What makes you think I'd do that? I asked. The redhead, who I had barely noticed before, stepped up next. My dad owns half the businesses in town. If you do this for us, maybe he'll find you some work. Real work. That was the moment I decided this wasn't going to be just another brush-off. I was done pretending that this was just kids being kids. These weren't mistakes, they were deliberate. And what they didn't know was that I was the last person they should have tried to manipulate. All right, what's your name? I asked. Chad, he said, puffing out his chest, like he was proud of what he was doing. Chad Pennington. My family owns Pennington Real Estate and Development. You might have seen our signs around town. The arrogance took my breath away. I took out my phone and pretended to type. And you? I asked, glancing at the girls. The brunette smiled like she was being asked to give a report. Madison Blackwell. My father runs the surgery center downtown. The redhead, more serious now, said, Brittany Vanderberg. My dad owns Vanderberg Enterprises. 3 privy-legged kids, and the sense of entitlement they carried was enough to make your skin crawl. I kept listening to their names, their smug stories about who their dads knew, the people they thought they could control. I knew all their fathers knew about the insurance fraud, the labor violations, the money laundering. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. You sure about this? I asked, letting the silence drag for a second. Yeah, Chad said. Look, we just want some beer, man. It's not like you're a cop or something. At that moment, the urge to snap was overwhelming. Instead, I leaned in. Maybe I am a cop, I said quietly. But that doesn't mean I'm about to break the law for a spoiled rich kid like you. They laughed, sure that they had me right where they wanted me. I wasn't just a cop in their eyes. I was to help someone who could be bought. But they had no idea what they were messing with. I'll make you a deal, I said, taking a step back. I'll buy your drinks. But I want half the money up front. $200. Cash. Chad's eyes went wide. $200? For what? For the privy leg of breaking the law for you. I said with a grin that didn't reach my eyes. You want this to happen, you pay up. They huddled together, whispering. Then, with a defeated sigh, Chad nodded. Fine, he muttered. We'll get the rest when you deliver. With that, I knew I had them. But what they didn't know was that I wasn't about to be their errand boy. I was going to make sure they learned a lesson that would stick, one they'd never forget. I went back to the station, gathered everything I needed, and then called Detective Maria Santos. Together, we hatched a plan. Operation Reality Check. We'd show up at their party not with alcohol, but with EVY Denke. We'd catch them in the act, expose them for the entitled criminals they were. And when the time came, I would have my revenge, not just for me, but for everyone they thought they could manipulate and discard. Fast forward to that night. I showed up, bags in hand, ready for the delivery. The house was already full of noise and chaos. Chad, Madison, and Brittany greeted me like I was their new best friend, laughing and congratulating themselves. The drinks I had for them? Non-alcoholic beer and sparkling cider. Just enough to make their crime look real. You're a lifesaver, Madison gushed. This is going to be the party of the summer. I glanced around, seeing the dozens of kids already wasted, red Solo cups everywhere. Looks like you didn't need me after all, I said, eyeing the party that had clearly already gotten out of hand. Chad didn't care, though. He handed me the $200 like I was a delivery guy. Great, he said. You should see the mess we made. And when the party's over, we might need another run. Yeah, I said, pretending to be impressed. I'll think about it. That's when I dropped the bomb. You assume I'm just the help, I said, pulling out my badge. But the truth is, I'm Chief Xavier Gilmore. And you three? You've just committed multiple felonies. I watched as their faces fell. The smirk disappeared from Chad's face. Madison and Brittany froze. You've got to be kidding, Chad stammered. You can't do this. Oh, I can, I said calmly. And I will. The sound of sirens grew louder as my team moved in. Within minutes, the party was a mess of chaos. Chad and his friends were handcuffed, arrested for underage drinking, conspiracy, and everything else they'd done that night. The look on their faces? Priceless. But what really got to me was how they kept insisting they were the VY Tims. The cameras caught everything, their arrogance, their assumption that money could fix everything. They thought they were untouchable. But in the end, they were the ones who got trapped. The lesson? Pre-VY leg can't save you when justice is involved. And sometimes, the best revenge is watching those who think they can't be touched finally face the consequences. So let me ask you, do you think these kids got what they deserved? Or did they get caught in a system that's too unforgiving? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think, did justice really serve them?